I did was to raise up this issue with government to say, I've gone through the files. This ministry is not playing any special duty role. Let us rename the ministry. So we are in the process now of pushing and asking government to approve the renaming of the ministry to the Ministry of Solid Minerals, Oil and Gas, which to me will be more appropriate than this present Ministry of Special Duties, Oil and Gas, because we don't play any special duty role. Rather, we are in charge of solid minerals, oil and gas.
So before the renaming, will you prefer those special duties?
You have to, because that's what I have on the signboard. I can't because this is a ministry that was brought about by ESCO decision. So it will take the ESCO again to rename the ministry. So we are, like I said, we are in the process. I think we shouldn't misinform the public. The signboard there says the Ministry of Special Duties, Oil and Gas, and the electoral paper here still says the Ministry of Special Duties, Oil and Gas. I can on my own start calling the Ministry of Oil and Gas and remove the special duty away. So it will take another ESCO decision to rename the. But I will actually be grateful just for us to do things right, for us to rename this place so that the place can function better. Although the role now we have the Department of Special Duty playing no role at all. That department is just there, not doing anything, and that's why we don't even have staff under that department. But we have a department for solid minerals, a department for oil and gas, and research and planning. So I'm saying, why not let's have a name that will reflect the day-to-day activity of the ministry.
How about the oil wells that are ceded to the neighboring states?
Yes.
What's the ministry doing about it?
A lot. We just came back from. A visit to Seplat Petroleum Development Company, Nigeria Limited, where they took over the asset of Shell in Edo State. They are the major oil producer, oil and gas producing firm in Edo State. We had a recent problem with them where Orogo 4 is a new oil well that they are drilling on, where the community ran here with a petition against them. Copied Omono Banedu, copied the speaker, and as the ministry that is in charge of oil assets in the state, we took the petition before the management for us to ascertain and stop the wrongful seeding of the oil well, because we have lost several oil wells to our neighboring states. So what we did first was to work with the Surveyor General of the state, and we were able to establish, along with Seplat officials, that particular oil well falls within the radius of more than 2.5 kilometers inland of Edo State. But the people of Boboruku in Delta State, they were laying claim to the oil well. So we are in the process now of first of all ensuring that the jobs that we accrue from the drilling of that oil well, that the people of Orogo in Edo State benefit from it. So as a first step, we met with the management and they have agreed to say, okay, pending when the National Boundary Commission, we are setting and right there to say the oil well belongs to Edo State. The job that will be provided there for the community they must ensure that the people of Orogo benefit from it. But that has not been able to cure the danger of Edo State losing revenue from that oil well to Delta State. So we are taking our case further to the National Boundary Commission to give to them what is the findings the Solicitor General brought to us as a ministry, taking it down to Abuja to ensure that a permanent solution is found. A statement is made by the National Boundary Commission and that oil well falls within the borders of those states. So we are about doing that. But again, we are equally knowing fully well the people that we are dealing with, that they may not be able to accede to our request easily enough. We are equally looking at advising government to explore legal angle too, side by side with the diplomacy that we want to adopt. Because I believe we are in a mess now. When I say mess, we have lost so much of our oil well to our neighboring state because we are not taking the initiative to be very firm and strong in demanding for the return of the oil well. So that is for the immediate solution. But there are several oil wells that is being in contention right from 1999 up to now. We have them in our records, and those ones we may not have any other option than for us to seek legal assistance for us to be able to bring that one into the dragnet of those states. If not, we end up losing revenue as we are losing. So to answer you again straight, the new ones that we have discovered that they have seeded or they are about seeding, we are pursuing it at the National Boundary Commission level. The office of the Deputy Governor is directly in charge of managing the various attempts and solutions that we have brought to the table. So from time to time, he is in constant touch with the National Boundary Commission, Edo State Office of Solicitor General, and all that. I have equally said we may seek legal support, or we may seek legal solution to eventually put the ugly, disturbing situation under care.
Thank you. So, how is the solid mineral district faring?
How is it faring? Well, Edo State is blessed with more than 13 solid minerals, more than 13, a lot of them. But they are apart from the granites and maybe limestone. Others are still largely undeveloped because solid mineral involves heavy investment, large-scale investment. To prospect solid mineral, you need large-scale investment, and so because of the investment, huge investment outlay involved, investors, you can't easily come across investors that are willing to invest in it. So presently it's at if I say it's at a small scale level, people who are exploiting this mineral through the primitive method, manual method. But again, the state is not getting the expected revenue from it because the operation is managed and regulated by the Federal Ministry of Mines and Power. I hope I'm correct. Federal Ministry of Federal Mines, you will find about the Federal Ministry of Mines, and not by power. If you ask me, I'll find out for you. But basically, the licenses are given out at the federal level, by the federal government, not by the states. You find out that the situation, this is what we need to actually, all the states that are blessed with mineral resources, we need to come together to fight the federal government in such a way that we can have absolute control over these resources. Because miners go to Abuja, ask for these licenses. Out there in Abuja, they give miners, a radius of land for them to exploit for over 50 years. And what we just get here is only the revenue accruing from road tax and haulage levy. So we don't actually have any control over the resources, direct control over the resources. So they come here, they destroy our environment, and we don't get anything. What we get from it is bitter. Ditto bitumen. We have a lot of bitumen in the state, even though right now it's not being, we are not producing it yet. But even when during production, the state may not be able to accrue any kind of meaningful investment or return from it, because the federal government will be the one that will issue the license for the prospecting. So I would say we are not doing as much as we ought to be doing, but they are there. Exploitation, like I said, is still at the very primitive level. People go there to extract for clay, for their poultry and others, but we are not actually entered the industrialization level where we see a ceramic firm come here to set up a ceramic firm in Edo North, where we'll be producing our ceramic tiles, our ceramic wares, plates, teacups and others. We expect in the nearest future to get investors that will come in and set up ceramic firms that will use the huge deposit of clay we have around the state.
How about government investing in such business?
I don't think with the experiments we have had in the state. Remember the last PDP administration in the state, they told us they built 5 industries with resources from the state government, and most of those industries ended up, industries that were built with about 250 million ended up being sold for 50 million. Some were sold for as low as 5 million naira. And so the modern trend is not for government to have direct investment in industries and factories. Rather, you create the enabling environment and enabling laws, provide roads, give them energy and water and others, and encourage private investors. But the only thing government can do is through PPP, private-public partnership, where government may bring the land and do some level of infrastructure, and why the private sector brings the finance into it, and get going. But direct government investment in establishing factories, I don't think that is not a global trend now. Because anything government is looked down upon is, you see people don't take it seriously.
SOPADEC.
Yeah.
You did tell us that your ministry is the supervising ministry to that commission.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the situation has changed from what it used to be. From the outside world, we see SOPADEC as just on its own. The commissioner goes out, have programs.
The commissioner or the chairman?
Is it chairman?
They have a chairman.
The commission chairman. Okay. He goes out, he organizes his projects. We will see him sometimes on television with the communities and so. So what is the relationship? How is there any cooperation, or does his project pass through you? I don't know.
Very good. I'm happy. I hope you put the question like that the way you said it. That before now, from outside, that's what you say. Before now, actually, it was so. The SOPADEC operated parallel to the ministry to a large extent, even though their budget was still passing through here in terms of defense and others. But in terms of day-to-day supervision of SOPADEC, like what you rightly said, it wasn't right. It wasn't to the latter. It didn't respect the terms of engagement. Wasn't there. But since I came, we have done everything within our means to ensure that that things were not done properly. It was to improve our relationship between the board and the ministry. We have asked for that primarily to ensure that the derivation fund that is managed by the commission, the SOPADEC, is adequately and properly utilized on behalf of the host communities. That's the 3 oil producing local governments of Via Northeast, Bobawaka, and Orion local governments. We've actually advocated for closer working relationship and improved supervision so that we can reduce the incidence of duplication of projects by NDDC, by SOPADEC, by, to a large extent, UB. Basically, we are all doing the same thing. And again, to a large extent, the Ministry of Energy and Water Resources. Because SOPADEC was set up as a relief and intervention agency to bring succor to these communities through provision of water, health facility, schools, roads, electricity. And we have ministries too that are already providing most of these facilities. So our ministry, we have now said we must play frontal role to ensure that we reduce incidence of duplication of projects by SOPADEC, by NDDC, so that in a way we are able to do need assessments. If we do our need assessments before the projects are sited in those areas, be able to know whether there is a borehole. If the borehole is there before it needed to be repaired, we can repair those boreholes rather than drill new ones there. So that is why I agree with you. I said we are now working closer with them. Another reason why we need to work closer with them is to ensure that projects are properly executed in such a way that designs of projects are adhered to by the contractor. So that is what we are doing. I will tell you, even though before now, according to you, that you felt the ministry didn't supervise SOPADEC well enough. The ministry, under my supervision, under my headship now, we have put everything in place to ensure improved supervision, improved working relationship with the commission, so that the people from the oil producing local government will be better off for it.
Please, just one question. Though not here.
Yeah.
It's about the establishment of borrow pits. Is it this ministry that gives licenses?
No, it's the same thing. The Federal Ministry of
Sorry for petroleum products. The price of kerosene is still on the high side. What is the ministry doing to stabilize price?
The issue of kerosene, I'm sure, is one big sore spot for this government. I'm sure if you have put your ear down, you'll be watching television. About 3 weeks ago, I went to town and I threatened to drag IPMA executive to EFCC for economic sabotage. Generally this year, Mr. Governor went to Warri Depot to join them to commission the reopening of the depot, and lobbied and pressured the depot management to help us pump enough product to Benin Depot.